Don't look down. Don't look up. Don't look side to side. There's creatures everywhere. Day, night, they're always on the hunt, dragging you down to your watery grave, cursing you with 101 days of ferociousness, even getting peeped on through your window. You could be lucky enough to survive if you keep your bearings. Don't forget, there are monsters everywhere. There could be one in your closet or under your bed, but I think we'll settle for them being out in nature.
I didn't see you there.
Something big is going on here.
From hunting ghosts to Bigfoot.
Paranormal, UFOs, true crime, and more.
We won't just be spouting articles.
I was researching for your entertainment.
Beginning of a new world.
The best guac you'll ever fucking eat.
True story.
It's basically like one day you walk outside and you see that the ants are playing with matches.
This is the
Black Cat
Report.
See you on the other side.
Welcome to the Black Cat Report and episode 82. I am Joey, and with me is the second best podcaster in the world.
I just want to say
Gil.
thank you, Joey, so much for bringing this up and letting everybody know that I have achieved the rank, the goal, the nomination, and the victory of number 2. And I also want to give a special shout out to all the folks that made it possible. And by all the folks, I mean your mom. Thank you so much, Joey's mom, for always believing in me, always trusting me. Always, making sure I know where the spare key is to the house. I couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah, I mean, she sends her congratulations.
I got the text.
She also says, stay out of the flower bed.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
weird.
a long story.
But, yeah. Well, I'm actually, weirdly enough, because he is the second best podcast in the world, going to give Gil the floor to give you another reminder about his new podcast to keep it fresh in your mind.
Yeah. So if you haven't caught the previous week's episodes, coming up on February 3rd, Saturday, February 3rd at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. West Coast time is our new podcast. It's a joint effort between 3 existing podcasts. So it's going to be Black Cat Report, The Paranorm Girl, and Life Beyond 6 Feet. So that's myself, Kristen from The Paranorm Girl, and Damien from Life Beyond 6 Feet. We're all joining forces to create, I guess, just what you could call a Saturday night of pure high strangeness chaos. We are super excited about this and actually just messaged them today. I'm the avid podcast listener, obviously. We're bringing somebody to the table that's in many ways been lost since like the days of Art Bell. It still exists with Coast to Coast today, but we all feel certain ways about George Norrie. Anyways, yeah, so the new show is going to be called Beer, Booze, and Boogeymen. It's going to be available and live stream pretty much anywhere you can look for it, and it's super easy to participate in. You can just go to ghost.beer/links. And don't worry if you can't remember that. It's going to be the top link in the show notes. You can find it there. And once you get there, it's going to ask you a series of questions. It's going to say, do you want to suggest a beer? Do you want to suggest a topic? Or do you want to submit your story? Now, what is going to be the first story? Well, our first set of stories are going to be anything from y'all that have to do with haunted workplaces. Have you worked as a nurse? Have you worked at a morgue? Have you, worked in an abandoned school? Wherever the hell you've worked before. If you've had experiences haunted, at work, call in. We actually accept live call-ins from anywhere in the world. Thank you, Joey, the other day for helping me test that out and make sure that was all up and running. But that's going to be a huge aspect of the show.
Oh, of course.
We're going to be taking live, raw, unfiltered calls. So we're going to be getting the wingnuts. We love you. We're going to be getting the people that are legit. You're cool too. We're getting the entire broad spectrum of folks. And could not be more stoked. But yeah, enough rambling about that. Super excited. Again, it's going to be, this is getting released this Sunday. It's going to be in 6 days. It's going to be on Saturday from the day of this episode's released, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Find all the information, find all the links, learn how to submit. Go to ghost.beer/links. Again, link will be in the show notes. Yeah.
Super exciting. I know I'll be there listening. So we also want to apologize for us getting episodes out a little later than normal, as Gil and I are both in the tough, swampy parts of our lives with work and everything being crazy. So we are doing our best to get them out to you in a timely manner, as well as good and interesting content. And we also want to say last week we had a very interesting technical glitch that did not go our way. So we had a backup episode and a great episode, and hope you guys actually hope if you enjoyed it. I just hope you got through it and you're the same.
They're not
afterwards. And if you're not, I'm sorry. But Gil did a great job getting all that stuff ready for it and editing it and getting the sound right so you can actually hear it. And then he had to unedit it to make it actually seem like it was real because he did such a good job. But
that was a trip.
Yeah. Thank you, dude. After last week, we want to get into some fun.
Yes.
After the last 3 weeks, we want to get into some fun and maybe a bit more lighthearted content.
Yes.
And also, Gil and I want to announce that on June 8th, we will be in Wytheville, Virginia at the Wytheville UFO Fest from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We're super excited.
I'm so fucking excited. Yes. So just paid them the money, which means they have to accept us now. But yeah, we just paid that.
Legally bound to it.
No, but Wytheville UFO Festival, it sounds really cool. It's a very fascinating event. We will be doing an episode, at least one episode in the lead up to it. But if you're anywhere near Western Virginia, come out and see us. I don't even think like Joey and I like we don't actually have anything planned to like sell. We're just gonna be giving shit out, talking to folks and hanging out. Like that's the whole damn point. We're not here to like try to make bank with the podcast and be like buy our merch, yada yada yada. No, we're just gonna have a bunch of free shit and we just want to meet people. So
I mean, you aren't, but
Joey's over there like peddling Coca-Cola and just like,
hey, those glass bottle Cokes are gonna be all over because I'm just gonna be drinking them all day, so it's fine.
No, but we would absolutely love to meet y'all in person. Again, it's gonna be June 8th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. in Wytheville, Virginia. We're going to be having promos on all of our socials and stuff like that as we lead up to it. Would fucking love to see y'all there.
After all those announcements, for today's episode, we're going to be doing local cryptids.
Local, baby.
Yeah. So the first cryptid we're going to take a look at is the Lake Utopia sea monster, or what is more affectionately known as Old Ned. So Lake Utopia is right on the border of Maine and New Brunswick, Canada. First witnesses of Old Ned were a native tribe called the Malasite in the early 1700s. They were canoeing across Lake Utopia and were chased from one end of the lake to the other by this giant thing, is what they were saying it was.
It was actually the first official recorded riverboat race was in that situation.
Yes, that's correct.
They just had their coxswain up front just being like, row, 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 row.
They just kept going faster. Row, 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 row. And then there was just
row, 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 row.
Yeah. Our arms can't move this fast. Well,
row, row, row your boat super fast upstream.
Yeah, and they also came up with that song about that time, I think I heard too.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. It was actually it was an old war story originally.
Yes.
That's a different tale.
Well, that was the first of anything that anyone had heard of the monster, really, ever. But it was not the last. As the stories spread around to, basically the colonizing Europeans, more and more people decided to, let's go see this lake and try to find this monster. And what else are we going to do? Let's hunt it. Let's hunt it.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I would do that.
Would you hunt it?
If a local cryptid popped up here in Asheville, bro.
Oh, we'd be there. Yeah, both of us would be there.
I would lose my job hunting that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Immediately. Yeah.
I mean, maybe we'll find one in Asheville eventually. Well, let's describe the way the creature looks first before maybe we decide if it's a good idea or not to go hunting for it, right?
That's true. I mean, would it like a 7.62 take it down?
Well, Old Ned has been described as in between 30 to 40 feet in length and about 10 feet in width. It has the look of a seal mixed with a salmon with really razor sharp teeth.
Of course.
Yeah. Of course it has razor sharp teeth.
Why wouldn't it?
Yeah. And a great smile, I've heard.
Could you imagine if this motherfucker had just like normal human-looking teeth? Honestly, that's
ooh,
more
so
haunting.
creepy. Yeah, that's so creepy.
That's
Have you
smart.
seen
It's
those
just like
pictures?
a mixture between it's just like omnivore teeth, where it's just like some canines, but then a lot of herbivore in the back. You know what I'm
Ew.
saying? Like the flat in
Yeah.
the back, pointy in the front. You know, like I think I've seen
Ew.
that on some shirts.
That's so
but
creepy.
just hi, how you doing? I'm old Ned.
I'm old Ned. Oh, and it has
I'm
like
old
a
Ned.
yeah, it has a weird old man's voice too, I guess, because old Ned.
If old Greg was a fucking cryptid,
Yeah,
it is old Ned.
either that or I think it's old Ned Flanders. Haddly doodly just pops out of the water into your boat. Haddly doodly.
neighbor. row.
Oh God, it's so nice. Well, from the pictures and the artist renditions, it looks like an irradiated whale. So it's like it got too close to Fukushima nuclear power plant or Chernobyl and just like turned into this irradiated, weird-looking whale.
Just the Bikini Islands whale that just got blown into the fucking sky and landed in that lake, but it somehow traveled into the past.
Yeah. It traveled far into the past.
Yeah.
Well, funnily enough, everything that has been described and the people that have seen it and ran from it for some reason, they said it was not actually really a threat to anyone and it never really attacked anybody, or especially with these razor sharp teeth. But somebody did describe this as the teeth. They just had blood everywhere all over its teeth. Like it just ripped apart a few things.
I've actually got gingivitis, and I don't appreciate you calling that out.
It's just blood.
Rampant gingivitis in my species, and by my species, I mean literally just me. I'm old Ned.
Yeah, there's nothing. Well, it's also been reported that it's seen around every 3 to 5 years. And, maybe that was talked about maybe because it travels in between the lake and the Atlantic Ocean and goes back and forth,
I like to follow elections. That's
yeah.
pretty much it.
It left 2016. Yeah.
Oh.
And then it came back in 2020 and was like, see what happens when I don't come back.
Hey guys, I just still want to enforce social distancing. I know some of y'all might disagree, but my biology's my own, and I'm just gonna ask you to respect that.
It's social distancing, old Ned.
Yeah,
That's the new.
the new face of winter COVID protection is fucking old Ned. Just a face mask with like a little bit of blood where the teeth are on the inside of the mask.
I wear them to hide my teeth.
Cover your coughs or else I'm coming.
I'm coming
Seriously.
for you. Yeah. Well, there's a few reasons of why that could be. Well, besides a local Nessie like cryptid, right? So one theory is that it is a giant eel,
Yeah.
It could be. I mean, long ass eels have been known.
God. Fuck, dude. I'm like dying for a nagi right now. I don't know if that's your favorite when you're getting sushi, but a nagi.
I don't like
If anybody
sushi.
ever wants to buy me sushi, All right, everybody, welcome to the last episode of Black Cat Report. What? How do you
Finale.
No,
I just don't like
no,
sushi. Sorry.
You haven't had the right kind. I'm going to be that dick, and I'm going to just keep saying, like, you haven't had the right kind. Do you not like salmon?
No, I don't like fish.
Any fit?
No, I don't like the taste of fish. I've had fish before, and I just cannot stomach the taste of it.
I would be a little bit concerned if you just broke the news here today on episode 82 of Black Cat Report. I, Joey Francis Scott Bacon Lee.
Yeah, that's my middle name.
Have never had fish. I would be very concerned.
No, I've had
you
fish, and I
said-
just did not like it. That's why me and old Ned are friends, because I'm not going to eat them. I'm not a threat, I'm not a threat to fish.
I'm not a threat to fish.
Hey, you know what?
I'm sorry, but that goes down in the books as great as the line 2 episodes ago when you said, I can't Texas.
What?
When you said,
I can't Texas. Yeah, I
Texas.
can't Texas. I can't Texas.
Sorry, please continue.
Well, I'm not a threat to fish, Gil, because I just don't eat fish. So me and Ned are good friends. Well, eels are catandrommas, right? I'm saying it right, I hope. Which means they grow and mature in lakes for many years. And once they grow, they move out to the ocean. and then die shortly thereafter. They don't live too long in the ocean. Though I do say this probably doesn't fit with the same creature because it's being seen every 3 to 5 years, not different creatures. But to be fair, would we know if it was a different? I mean, technically this thing, we would probably know if it's a different thing because I don't think there's any other like it. Well, the other theory put forth is that this Old Ned is a not yet found style of whale.
Okay.
Which, to be fair, I feel like this could more closely resemble what we see in the artist's rendering of it because it does look like a Fukushima whale. Which is our new merch coming out in 2025.
It's just a whale, and like the only thing it says is "ouch." That's it.
Yeah. Ouch.
Sorry.
No, it's great. Oh, poor whale. Well, whether or not it is real, many people have had run-ins with Old Ned, and maybe one day, Old Ned and Nessie will meet, maybe get together and have cute little or big cryptid babies. I guess I don't know. Aww.
Yeah, cryptid anchor babies just trying to get Nessie in this country.
Yeah,
I know what it's trying to do. I need to talk to our presidential candidates about this growing dilemma. Everybody's focused on the Texas border. We should really be focused on this goddamn lake. That's my new take.
Yep.
You
New
know,
Brunswick.
that's our
New Brunswick border.
Oh God,
in
man,
Maine.
it's New Brunswick. Oh God. Oh.
Well, we're gonna move on from this 2016 style conversation.
From this weird form of racism.
This jokesism right now.
Jokes.
The next cryptid we're going to delve into is actually a kind of scary looking one. Not that the other one wasn't that scary, but still kind of cute in a way, besides the teeth.
Ouch.
Ouch. It does remind me of like a bigger squonk. Just kind of like, hey, it was just chasing him to get friends, you know? And they just were like, no, with the teeth.
Y'all ever hear of Mary Kay just like swimming after him?
I'm selling Herbalife. I'm selling Herbalife now. Aw. It's a good seller, though. Well, this one borders more along the lines of a werewolf. It's called a rougarou. The rougarou has been a Cajun legend for over 100, 200 years. It's been there since the beginning days of French-Canadian people coming down to the border, going down to Louisiana. So most of the legend started from, of course, French-Canadian settlers that came down to Louisiana in the 1700s, or Europeans colonizing the U.S., what was now called the U.S. So it's funny how a lot of these stories, folklore started in the 1700s, right? Because that's kind of when everybody was, that's our history coming down into it. Us British, us, European colonizing people. Well, the idea is that it is a curse that makes you have the body of a man and the head of a wolf or a dog, right? So would it be weirder if the body was a wolf and the head was a person? Which would be the weirdest part?
Or just like, everybody always goes top to bottom.
Yeah. So,
but we here at Black Cat Report, we have to ask the question, what if it's side to side?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
What if it's like the left side of your body is a man, you know, and the right side is a wolf? And that includes if you were a woman before becoming a rougarou. What if the left side of your body becomes a man and the right side becomes a wolf? What if you're non-binary? That is just like, God damn, everyth's fucked. Like, this is a serious curse. Needs to be addressed.
I know. We need to figure out where it starts, when it ends.
Where does that? What if it's at like a 45-degree angle?
Ooh,
that's
that would
real
be
shit
real
right
awkward.
there.
Yeah.
What if that line? What if the meridian, so to speak? What if the meridian cuts right through the penis? What if half of your penis becomes a red rocket and the other half
These are questions that need answering.
becomes Peter North? So, what are you gonna do?
I guess it would be better than being Peter South.
Why wasn't his name Peter South? Anyway,
I do not know. That would have made
South
an even funnier
Peter.
name. Yeah.
God damn it, that would have been good. Just lost opportunities here.
Lost in jokes here. Well, instead of the idea that you're bitten by a werewolf and survive, you can become a rougarou by breaking a vow at Lent 7 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if you give up something for Lent, like, oh, this year I'm just going to give up sweet treats for Lent. And then you find yourself awake at 2 a.m., drunk, making cookies, throwing all the good stuff like chocolate, peanut butter, molasses, sprinkles, vanilla glaze, all into one cookie, and scarfing them down 7 years in a row. Then you too can become a rougarou. Well, if you turn into one of these rougarous It'll last about 101 days or till you can pass on the curse to someone else, right? So you just basically want to screw over someone else. That's the whole goal of it.
Yeah.
I think it would end up being like one of those stupid little tag games when you just keep tagging the same person back and forth. You keep just tagging each other, but you can't run away fast enough to get away from that person, so they tag you back, and then till the game becomes not fun anymore and you just stop. I honestly wonder if that just happens and they're just like looking at each other like, well, I guess I'll take it for the couple days.
But this reminds me completely, and it might have been a conceptual inspiration for it.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the horror film, It Follows, you should. 100%.
I haven't seen that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another strike against me.
He
can't anymore.
I love Joey. He's my brother. And I love Joey. Anyways, but no, It Follows is about this paranormal, supernatural STD that keeps attaching itself to folks via sex. Right? So you have to fuck somebody in order to pass it on to them.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, it's a conceptually brilliant. It's a very brilliant. And I forget the woman actor, the female lead role in that movie, she's going to be in a new movie that's coming out called or that's based, more than likely, the rumors say, on a very fucked up, very weird form of creepypasta, a story called Long Legs. But that'll hit y'all's movie screens in about a year. But yeah, that's on the cutting edge. Look into it. It's if you're a fan of horror, that's kind of where it's at.
I mean, yeah, I have to look it up. I mean, I do like pasta, so I feel like I'm getting some points back for that, with the audience. I think a lot of us like pasta.
You're doing good, Joey.
I'm trying.
Doing good, Joey.
I'm trying. I don't, it's fine. Well, most of the time, Rougarou are known to suck blood out of their victims, or in some variations of the tale, they actually kill people and livestock.
Okay, so there's just step back real fucking quick. So you mean to tell me there's a French-ass werewolf out there? Just like, I notice you have some blood over there. May I have a seat?
Oh, no, I don't think that'd be very much okay.
No, I did not recognize your accent, but I must ask you again. May I have a seat?
Oh, no. No, thank you. Oh, no.
101 days of torture. Oh, no. We are so lucky these days that, becoming French is not that easy.
No, and I will say I apologize for my accent that is not very good. My stereotypical accent that is horrible. Well, I know you are thinking, how do I protect myself from these horrific-looking man-beasts that literally want to play a game of curse tag with you?
Joey, I need to know right now. I need you to tell me how I can protect myself from these French-Canadian feral motherfuckers. Joey, what do I do?
The first thing is you really just need to apologize profusely. Very much so. Just keep saying sorry.
Can't do that. What's next?
Second, you have to protect yourself by placing 13 small items outside of your door. So
already did that.
Perfect. So when the reason why is because they can only count up to 12, and then they get really confused. So they basically count all the way up to 12 and then count the next one as one again, and then continuously count and keep counting over and over again until the sun comes up, and they eat off into the woods again and because they can't be in the sun. So they're like, fuck this,
God damn it. The Schaefer Night School only taught us how to count to 12. What do we do?
If you don't know what the Schaefer Night School is, head back to episode 80, 79, and 80 and listen to those episodes, and then switch back and forth between this one and that one, and you'll have no idea what's going on because they're nothing.
You still won't be informed.
Yeah.
No, but okay. So this is a fucking thing, and I don't recall if I brought it up in the Strigoi episode about the original vampire. In terms of weaknesses across so many cryptids and spooks and haunts, it comes down to this obsessive compulsive nature to count.
Yep.
Not specifically, not like with the Rougarou where it's they can only count to 12. A lot of them, it's like take a fucking handful of sand or something with a lot of whatever the fuck it is, throw it on the ground, and that'll protect you because now they have to count to fucking 350 grains of sand or rice or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Rougarou is very specific in the sense that it's like they can only count to 12. You know, they're just like, they get to 13 and they're like, it's a very high odd number. What do I do? You know, and they freak out and they're like, it can't be. But like, it's just so common though. And I don't understand why. Like, I understand like the power of 3 and I understand a lot of the like the spiritualism and like the I guess in a very, I don't know, diminutive sense, like the paganistic beliefs in Europe, right? And I don't mean that in a negative way towards anybody, but I understand it in that way. And like the power of 3 is in prime numbers and yada yada yada. Okay, but like, why stop at 12? It's so fucking weird.
I don't know. I wonder if they practiced it. Like they had to have one come to their door and they put 11 down, and 12, and then they kept going higher until it stopped being confused.
It seems that he died
until it got confused. Yeah.
Well, I've got 12 pennies, so wish me luck tonight. And it's like, well, he fucking died. Well, I've got 13 pennies because I only had one and that bitch had 12. So I'm going to take it.
They each added one. They just added to it. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's how they kind of got the lucky number 13. The Rougarou has had many sightings over the years since the 1700s. And even has been featured in, obviously, many shows, articles in the last 10 years. It was featured in Cryptids, The Swamp Beast.
Classic.
It was featured in Swamp Mysteries on the History Channel. Twilight.
Swamp Twilight.
Swamp Twilight. Swamp Light. That's the new version of Robert Mattinson is the character.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, Kirsten... Stewart.
Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, Kirsten Dunst was actually the main other, and she was the lead. How she fell pretty far. Oh. Actually, a crazy thing was if you were convicted and found of being a werewolf, you would be burned at the stake just like a witch, which is kind of interesting, you know? And the idea was basically if a witch turned you into one, or you obviously kept fighting against Lent, that you were a sinner. And so why not toss them onto the pile? Who cares? Add more kindling to the pile. Well, whether you believe the French-Canadian werewolf to be true or not, it definitely has its place in folklore history, and its beginnings maybe started further back than even the 1700s, as most civilizations and groups have had their own form of werewolf. Pretty much every group. Pretty much the Romans, I think, even had forms of werewolf in cryptid times.
Yes.
So it's like the idea of it hasn't like... It just started a crazy long time.
Can I throw in a fun fact here? Because I have been researching off and on for a later episode because, you know, we did roots of vampires. We have to do the roots of werewolf.
Oh, for sure. They got a battle afterwards. We're going to have a battle episode too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No. It's going to be Underworld, which like Kate Beckinsale.
Hit us up.
Still love you.
Yeah. Hit us up.
But no, like, so, you know, we did vampires. We did Stroy. And I've been looking into the deep roots of werewolves. I gotta throw out this fun fact to you. One of the early symptoms, early signs, early effects of lycanthropy, right? So the becoming a werewolf was the hair growing inward.
Oh.
Which is fucking horrifying.
That sounds horrible. How do they know that though?
You're supposed to cut into their flesh, and if you find hair on the inside, they're a werewolf. This is the teaser. This is a spoiler. You know, I'm not trying to tell tales outside of the kennel here, but like that is thank you. That is an early, like, you know, it's like, oh, well, they do this on a full moon. They do this, you know, They can't stand this, like silver bullets, whatever. One of the earliest ones is cut into their limbs.
Yeah.
And if you find hair facing inward in the skin, into the muscle, into the meat, into the fat, they're a werewolf.
Makes sense.
And like motherfuckers were killed just to check to see if hair was growing in.
I mean, at that point, you should just say like, I feel like after they've done that and they've killed you, they're just gonna be like, nah, they're a werewolf.
Hey,
they're just gonna like plant it like police throw crack on People in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, they're
Dave
gonna like throw
Chappelle
their hair.
Oh, they got me. Sprinkle, sprinkle.
Sprinkle some hair in there while they're looking at while nobody's looking,
my
just
God.
to looking. Oh no, they're a werewolf. No big deal. No, they're dead. Well, speaking on hairy cryptids, our next cryptid we're gonna go into is called the Grassman.
Yes.
It's also known by other names like Ohio Grassman, Kenmore Grassman, or Orange Eyes. Well, I want to say the Grassman gets its name by the small hut-like structure that it builds, obviously, and lives out in the tall grass. The Grassman, it's not really that.
I'm glad you finished that sentence with he builds and not just like it gets his name from the small
The grass that he lives in. Yeah.
He's just lying on a perfectly trimmed golf course, clearly visible. He's like, they can't see me.
They can't see me. Yeah.
I am super hidden.
Tiger Woods was actually the one to find him. Well, just kidding. Well, he almost hit him with his car going through the woods.
Oh.
Well,
I won't tell if you don't. They all sound like old Greg tonight.
yeah, they do. I mean, he might. One of the first sightings of Grassman goes back to 1978 in Minerva, Ohio. Evelyn and Hal Clayton's grandchildren ran into the house screaming about a hairy monster they saw in the gravel pit outside. This is pretty creepy, to be fair.
Help me! Help me! It's Carrot Top! Help! Help!
I imagine Carrot Top being out there talking to the monster.
I want to try a new bit.
Yeah, that's where he got his jokes. Grassman doesn't take joking too well.
Not at all.
When Evelyn and Hal went out to see what it was, they saw a 7-foot-tall, 300-pound, dark, matted hair monster sitting in the pit and fiddling with trash. To be fair, he was probably just looking for cool stuff in the gravel pit. Like, oh, this looks cool. Oh, that's cool.
Hey, y'all getting rid of this? Y'all really don't want this? Can I take this? Is that cool?
This reminds me of the old cousin Eddie taking the chair from the... I'd like to fumigate this here chair. How much does it set you back? And they're like, please leave us alone. Leave us alone. Oh, poor guy. He just wanted to get Santa come to his kid's house.
Y'all sure you don't want these?
Yeah, sure.
I feel like I'm stealing right now.
Yeah, it's going to set you back a lot. Well, they also ran into Grassman again a few times after that day. Another night, it was literally looking into their kitchen window like a peeping Sasquatch. The peeping Squatch.
I knew they put cinnamon in that chili. I fucking knew it when I tasted it earlier. They tried to lie. They told me that they didn't put cinnamon in that chili, but I knew it was cinnamon.
I'm allergic to cinnamon. Well, Hal ran to get his gun real quick, but the time Hal returned, the Grassman was gone. So the police were called.
That's incredibly fast.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, if in the state of Ohio, an Ohioan, a Buckeye, if you will, is not able to get their gun within 2 seconds of seeing a potential intruder, a peeping Tom, a peeping Tammy, if an Ohioan is not able to get their gat that fast, that motherfucker must have been quick. I'm just going to say, because we sleep on top of guns. We put guns on top of our pillow and then fall asleep. Like, we are gun ready. We are gun loving people.
Yeah, that's true. That's freaking true. Like this thing was Usain Grassman Bolt. It jetted out of there. And by the time the police got there, they didn't find much, but they found a few faint footprints and a weird and raunchy smell.
When the police promptly arrived
2 days
12
later.
and a half days later, all they found was a penthouse magazine with the pages stuck together and an old Big Gulp.
The Big Gulp was pretty sticky too.
God damn it, we can't use any of this evidence.
Does this thing have DNA? Because we'll catch it.
Some kind of mastermind.
Yeah.
Wait till I tell the boys up north chasing after Dahmer.
Oh, they found him quick, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
Well, a few nights later, they saw it again, obviously, but this time it had a partner. It got rid of the magazine and finally found itself a partner. got on Bumble Squatch or something.
I actually called one of those numbers on the back of the magazine, and I'm going to tell you, folks, it works. Actually, she's here. I mean, she is from South Korea. But, brother, when it's love, it's love. That's all I'm saying.
Well, as like it was on Squinder, Squatch Tinder, it finally found its mate, I feel like, honestly.
I'm a grass man. She's a bamboo woman. Why do you gotta judge?
We're fit as a fiddle. I feel like they were matched made in that gravel pit.
Match made in Bob Vila heaven.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Home improvement. These were the first actual reported sightings. That there are many, but there are also many Native American tales that they roamed and lived in the Ohio area. The Shawnee, the Delaware, the Wyandots, the Iroquois all lived in this area and had dealings with the Grassman. And I want to say too, there's some, like we always talk about, each cryptid some cryptids kind of like match each other. Like the Ohio Grassman's very similar to Bigfoot. And in a lot of ways, you can
100%.
probably just call it the Ohio Bigfoot. And it's not a next name for it, but it's very similar to what that part is, right? So, and a few we talk about later, everyone talks about.
It's as straightforward if you're a local to that that environment, that ecology, that climate, as saying the abominable snowman.
Yep. And to be fair, a lot of like the old Native American names or like the Spanish names or like most other languages, the names sound so much cooler. Like in English, everything feels like it's just so plain, like the Grassman.
Yeah.
Well, they would leave out food for the Grassmen as sort of a negotiation tactic, so they would be left alone, basically. This was the Native American tribes that lived in the area. And
I told y'all I don't like sushi.
Is my cousin. And did you know the Grassman was basically, as we just talked about, a crazier, angrier, and more aggressive version of Bigfoot?
He's from Ohio. You didn't have to mention that.
I didn't have to name that. Okay. Well, it has been known to attack humans. So in the late 1800s, it was reported that the Grassman tried to throw a man out of his carriage, but only retreated when the passenger, his daughter, started throwing rocks at the Grassman and it ran away.
This is so... There is nothing more Ohio than seeing a rare, endangered, obscure species and immediately trying to be violent towards it. That is the state of Ohio,
But
in a
anyways,
buckeye.
Yeah. Let's dive into our next cryptid called the Oklahoma Octopus. We're going to go into this sea-dwelling creature that resides in lakes, apparently.
It's taking me a moment here to process what the fuck you just said. Okay, so I know what the word octopus means, and I know the state of Oklahoma. Thank you for edible barbecue. Thank you, Oklahoma. But I don't remember barbecue octopus in Oklahoma. Joey, could you elaborate on this? When did Oklahoma get so close to the coast?
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, when did they become cool?
Yeah.
Well, it was first reported to have been mentioned in 2007 in a book called Monster Spotter's Guide to North America.
Okay.
Well, I also don't know how it got there either. So let's just move on to our next cryptid.
Hold on. What? We're just going to jump past it?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
The Oklahoma octopus is really literally what it sounds like. It's an octopus that lives in the lakes of Oklahoma. And I know that you're saying to yourself, just like Gil did, why is there an octopus in Oklahoma? And I asked myself the same question.
How could it be?
How could it be? There is no Octopus NATO that got this in there. That movie hasn't been sent out yet.
Yeah.
We actually got an early screening of it. It is I would not recommend watching it.
It'll suck you in.
Yes. I mean, if you like that kind of movie, and if you don't, then you probably should just leave. Not listening to us, but just leave the theater if you're in there, or if you're watching TV, just turn the channel. Either or.
I heard that the Grassman just started a new website called Corn Hub, and if you want to go there, we actually are an official sponsor, official affiliate of Corn Hub.
We try to sponsor things that we believe in. Squinder was one of those. We almost got there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You remember Squinter?
Squumble.
Oh, woo. Okay, Squonk.
Squitch. We're trying to cryptid dating services all of the time. We're trying to get the cryptids to meet their match.
So we realize hunting cryptids so difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like you go out days, weeks, years even. In the jungle, in the woods, in the desert, ignoring your family, letters of wakes, anniversaries, wedding engagements, all of these things. You ignore all of them in the hunt for the truth. They are out there. And while you're out there looking for them, trying all sorts of bait, you're trying every fucking thing. You're setting up trail cams everywhere. We tried a different method, a different motive, a different move. We tried a dating service. Because, like, here's the thing. Just like with Ned, just like with Nessie, right? There ain't a lot of y'all out there.
And they're just looking for love.
You're looking for love. You were trying every fucking avenue possible to start fucking. You were trying everything you can do to do it. And we're like, wait, ignoring everything. What if we just set up a simple app, a simple application that works on both iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry? What if
Grassman has a BlackBerry. Grassman definitely has a BlackBerry.
He has a BlackBerry.
Yes.
So what if we just set up a simple downloadable app, free? If you want the premium,
You can pay for it.
you got to pay a few dollars a year to get
sure.
the ads off. But it's okay. But it's okay. Premium dating service for cryptids. Okay, Cryptid.
That is great.
Yes.
Okay, Cryptid is definitely the name of this one. Yes.
So, whoa. So we started OK Cryptid. I'm done. I don't know
Trademark.
where I'm going with.
Trademark.
We've got 3 downloads, 1 from Joey, 2 of them from my own devices. But
All for love. Yep. So we're going to get back into what we're going to start calling TIDs from now on. Cryptids. We're just going to call them TIDs.
No,
For the Oklahoma Octopus, because I don't have time to say cryptids anymore, so I'm just going to say TIDs, you know? It is generally accepted that the Oklahoma Octopus inhabits 3 lakes: Lake Thunderbird, Lake Aluga, and Lake Tenkiller. Lake Tenkiller is a freaking awesome name.
sweet name.
Which are in and around Muskogee, Oklahoma, or central eastern Oklahoma, if you don't know where Muskogee is.
I'm just a
if you're not-
nogie from Muskogee. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta love
Oh,
that
yeah.
that old song. It generally attacks and kills unsuspecting swimmers.
Which is literally every swimmer.
Literally every swimmer in a lake. Yeah.
No swimmer goes out into a lake like, any moment now, I'm fucking ready. I swear to fucking God, I'm dropping bows on the first large mammal that comes across this water. Every swimmer is unsuspecting.
You don't literally do that? I do that. I do that all the time. Like, literally, I'm looking around every time. If I'm in a river, I'm looking at the ground for snakes. If I'm in an ocean, I'm like, there's damn sharks around here. I'm going to look down in the water. And if I can't see it, I'm going to just, like, be super ready with my bows, my knees, every part of me to kill those things.
Okay, but a future hopeful sponsor, because it seems like they're sponsoring everybody, BetterHelp.com should be helping you with that situation, Joey. You should not go into the YMCA just waiting for the village people to pop out of the water asking you to dance. Like that should
would
not
be
be
hilarious,
a fear.
though. I would love that. That would be really fun.
You should not jump in the water just like any fucking moment now. There'll be a construction worker, a stereotypical Indian, maybe a police officer. They're going to ask me to dance in a letter formation. You should not live in this life of fear. Joey, have you heard about the new dating app, which we did get sponsored by, OK Cryptid? You might find some solace there.
I mean, I don't know. It seems pretty scary to get out there. Well, the size of this thing is around a horse's length and height, and I think can always joke about that. The U.S. people will go no matter what it is to not use kilometers or meters or centimeters. We'll use anything else. Yes, Gil is actually dying right now. Oh, he is falling off his chair. Okay, he is on the ground now and getting back up.
Hold on.
He actually raffled. He raffled there.
All right, so it's about a horse's height. That's what
And
you're
length.
saying. We're talking
Yes.
Clydesdale pony.
Talking
We're
about
talking-
big draft horse.
Oh.
Big and
Like a draft beer horse.
Yes, like an Anheuser-Busch horse.
Okay.
One that can kick a field goal.
Seen it happen.
Yep, man. TV doesn't lie.
Never.
Well, it's got very long tentacles and leathery reddish-brown skin. I asked, how can an octopus live in fresh water, right? Did you ask yourself that? Or did you just accept?
This entire time, everything you've said, I've been asking, how is that possible? So this fits.
Yeah, well, scientists have studied certain jellyfish species that can adapt to living in fresh water instead of salt water over the years, decades, centuries, whatnot. So why not an octopus or maybe even a shark?
Why not?
Why not? Well, there's never been a physical sighting of the octopus, but there has been a lot of drownings and deaths in these lakes, right? Like an unusual amount. So in 2020, by July, they had about 44 drownings, which is huge, especially in man-made lakes.
And for some reason at the hospital, all of them were labeled as COVID-related deaths.
Well, these deaths are not obviously all caused by a lake-dwelling killer octopus flu, but some of them could be, right?
Sadly.
Maybe.
No.
Yeah, right. Maybe pulled down by the octopus, and with the last gallon effort to fight them off, they couldn't make it up to the surface. So they just, right before they got there, like in a very cinematic moment, they just fell back down, kind of like Jack and Rose. And, as he froze to death, he just fell down and she watched him on that huge door. She's on this huge door looking at him like, there's no room for him here. I still think
Just
that's
like that.
to this day. Yeah, I still think to this day that's the stupidest thing. And there's freaking memes about it.
Everybody does.
Yeah, everyone does.
He reenacted that. Like, he kept arguing with everybody. He reenacted it. He actually...
He went to the Atlantic Ocean?
No.
He went to the Atlantic Ocean and froze to death and fell down? Oh.
No. James Cameron, is that right? Was it James Cameron?
James Cameron, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so James Cameron, he reenacted that in the pool, the movie pool room.
The movie pool.
Where they have... Yeah. And where they film all the scenes and it's set up for filming, yada yada. He's like, there was not room for Rose and Jack on that. I don't know why he sounds like that, but I don't know what the fuck he actually sounds like. Anyways,
I don't need it.
And his reaction was, oh shit, there actually is enough room for both of them on the fucking door.
You know what that says about him?
He had to own up to that.
You know what, though, that says about him? At least he admitted it.
Well, yeah, because there were cameras there staring at him, and he was like,
hey,
well, I was found out.
Hey, you know what, though? What that says about a lot of other people, especially a lot of people that believe in flat Earth, he owned up to it when he was wrong.
Well, the only reason why the ocean looks round when you're down that deep is because of the curvature of the windows and the way that the light's refracting
it's the curvature of the door. You can see the curvature of the door from miles away.
You can see the curvature of it in miles. Yeah. And on a clear day, thousands of miles.
Thousands of billions of miles, maybe.
Billions, honestly. It just keeps going. Nobody
keeps
knows
going
where it ends.
because it's just flat, so who knows? Well,
who knows?
There was an instance of an octopus being found in a natural lake around there. One of those 3 lakes, they found an octopus in it. And
that's weird.
It wasn't the octopus. It wasn't that octopus. It was somebody had a pet and got really pissed off at the pet and just threw it into the lake and was like, goodbye, octopus. And somebody saw him doing this. Like, a family was there having a picnic just on the lake, and there's just this guy in the background, they're watching him, and he's just like, yeah, and just tossed the octopus out into the lake.
God damn it, Henry, I said if you get on the counter one more time and why don't you ever listen to me? And just like...
Yeah, it's an octopus, dude. They're actually pretty smart, though. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, and incredibly smart, which is why they didn't listen to him.
Yeah, the octopus turned to him and was like...
He's a fucking idiot.
Changed it to the football game. The guy was like, damn it, I didn't want to watch the football game. It's not my team.
I told you I hate the Dolphins.
It's like, they're my friends. Those are my friends. Well, there were other reports of people being pulled down under the water and then somehow surviving, obviously coming back up. And when they came out of the water, they had suction cup marks on their legs and their bodies. So pretty weird that happened, right? So it's like no other reason why they could have had suction cup marks. I mean, maybe they just went and did the, what's it called? The cupping, when they get, people cup on their back.
That's what I was thinking. But you said this was around 2020, which was also around the 2020 Olympics, which was also the last major alternative sports health trend. Cupping.
It was big. Actually, I do remember that. Yeah, in 2020.
I need you to look up. We're going to stop the show. Stop the show right now. I need you to Google.
Cupping trend.
Real quick. I need you to type this in. Just click enter. Second, I'm done.
Okay.
2. You got that? 2.
Yes.
GIRLS.
No.
Space.
I cannot do this. No. I do believe that was probably also more like 2009 or 2010. I think that was 2007, 2008. You were very close.
All right. But seriously though. BLUEWAFF.
I am good. I am not going for any more of your spitting in food kind of videos.
Please just look up blue
pictures.
waffles.
I'm good. No, we're not doing this. The show has been stopped. We derailed for long enough. Well,
it was done when you said you didn't like sushi.
That's well, now we can just cancel the whole show. We're done after that.
No.
In a reported instance, a young boy swam out too far into the lake and couldn't make it back in, which obviously he's just like, la-di-da-di-da, kept swimming, and, it happens a good bit, and looks back, and he's like, oh, I swam a lot farther than I thought.
Freaking tired.
Just like, I'm tired. I can't get back. And, the parents are just like, we got a couple other ones. So they could hear... They could hear
Thank
the boy.
God we're Catholic, am I right?
Thank God we're Catholic, yeah. The octopus will get him. It's fine. But, they could actually, the boy starts drowning and starts going under the water. And, like, he comes back up and says, like, they're getting the helicopter scrambled. They're doing it quick because obviously they've had a shit ton of drownings here. So they're like, we should be prepared for this. They come up with a plan. They get in a helicopter. They can hear the boy yelling, saying, something is pulling me down. And as they got the helicopter over to rescue him, the boy never came back up.
Damn.
Yeah. And so, honestly, I'm scared of being in the water. And this is what I think about when I'm in the water. While I'm looking down in a river, if you ever go into a lake, river, or ocean with me, and you're ever just hanging out, I am looking fucking straight down. I'm looking to see if there's jellyfish, there's sharks, snakes, octopi. I don't know. If there's pies sitting in the river, 8 pies, or in the ocean, who knows? I would actually be happy if there's 8 pies, but
I would not, because they'd be all soggy.
I mean, what if they're floating on the tin part of it,
I would, well, no, I was going to say I wouldn't eat a river pie, but I would eat a river pie if I saw one.
True. Well, I mean,
something magical is going to if you see a pie floating on a fucking river, perfect.
Yep.
Just the little
Eat it.
watermelon seed-shaped like vent holes cut out in the top of the pie crust, just floating perfectly. And then a drop of river water on it, just floating on the tin.
You eat that.
That's a magical ass pie. You better fucking eat that. Call us. Actually, call in to the next episode of Beer, Booze, and Boogeyman. We have a live call.
Yeah, and
tell us what happened when you ate the magical river pie.
Yep. Tell us where it led you.
Where'd you go?
Exactly. Well, it could have led you to Prince George's County, Maryland, where the next cryptid is. The Goatman of Prince George's County. So, Gil has been practicing his goat noise for a while, so he's super happy to let this out.
Weeks.
Yep, for weeks. There are a lot of origin stories of the Goatman that, honestly, we could probably do a whole episode of the Goatman, but we don't want to. Just literally. We will only describe what seems to me as most likely the one origin that I prescribe to of the Goatman.
There's a perfect symmetry.
Okay.
There's a perfect symmetry between the grass man and the goat man. I just want to call that out. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it literally is in the second part of the name and just an animal of that.
Oh, no. I mean, like the balance of what do goats eat?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
It's a circle of life. It's a circle of cryptids. Well, I do want to mention the first origin story of Goatman. And this is not the one I prescribe to. This is the one I just think is awesome. Because it's the idea of the Goatman Avenger. Goatman America. I mean, Goatman America, I can just see him. Or the idea that a lonely and angry goat herder that went berserk after finding his goats that he so dearly loved dead due to some stupid teenagers messing around on his land. I don't know how they killed his goats.
Thought I was gonna fucking marry you one day, and look what happened.
Those poor goats. Well, I just like to picture him morphing into a huge goat-like Hulk with like puffy hair, bulging huge muscles, and just angry, saying, "Goatman, smash!" Well, anyways, the Goatman.
Somewhere there's a goat cheese farm just getting torn the fuck up right now.
Yes, there's goat cheese farms all over the U.S. getting torn up.
Just attacking everybody who's lactose intolerant but still loves cheese. Just fucking.
Yeah, this is to all you almond milk and oat milk lovers over there, and goat milk lovers, that you are now in the target.
You're on the list.
You're on the list.
It's not like the FBI's top most wanted, but yeah, you were the Steve Buscemi's top 200 most wanted list.
Yeah, and I like oat milk, and I also like almond milk. But I don't like goat milk. I'm not a big goat
I like it.
cheese fan. So
I like it.
Well, he's also known not just to terrorize goat milk lovers, but he loves to terrorize lovers in general that are out in the woods where, young kids going out in the woods to make out lanes or such, just making out there. And he's just like, "Goatman, smash car."
If I got banned from OK Cryptid, so are you. Boom, 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 boom.
He's the only one that's ever been banned from OK Cryptid. And we don't know why.
Yeah, but you should have saw the screenshots. No. We do know why.
I just don't want to tell everybody
why. You should see the screenshot. No, you should
Privacy
see the screenshots.
policy.
You can find them. Let's just put it that way. You can Google it.
To be fair,
you can Goatman it. Yeah.
One of the screenshots that was sent was Goatman decapitating animals.
That's normal. That's like everybody's profile photo on OK Cryptid. That's
he was judged pretty harshly.
He sent hoof pics to everybody. The first message he sent to everybody were fucking hoof pics. And, we clearly have that in the bylines.
It's in the rules.
It's right there. It's the first thing. We actually, we tried to make all the tiny script, obviously, you don't need to scroll through it, and accept, take my soul, whatever. You go through it. But, we actually did highlight that. And legally speaking, we're like, look, you can't just hop on here. Right? You can't just clop on here and start just fucking sending every fucking person you see on here hoof pics. All right, not everybody wants to see that off the bat, right?
Well,
no problem if you do, but
you gotta make it known. Yeah, and we do. And
that's why we have the quizzes.
That's you get to know each other.
I spent so long on those fucking quizzes.
I know. Well, speaking of hoofs, it walks on two hooves. So it's bipedal, 2 feet, but it has the head and the hooves of a goat. But most people say that the face is just human features with goat's features, or, sometimes it's purely a goat's face. But it always sports a goatee.
How useless of a creature would it be if it had a 100% entire goat top? But then, just hips down, just human body.
That would just be so
human
useless,
feet, but it didn't have thumbs and it couldn't really pick up or operate anything. And it was just hooves for hanging.
It was just a goat. It would just be a goat then. We would just subjugate it back to being a goat.
You're terrorized. You're hiding in your house. It's trying to open your window, but it can't operate it because it can't turn its hooves upright.
Oh, God. And you just hear feet. It's just getting angrier and angrier. That's why it attacks humans. Take your pick. Well, the torso is pretty much human, like we said, but the legs are crooked goat legs. So it's the opposite of what we were just talking about. So it's not as useless to be.
Yeah.
It also has curving horns on its head, kind of just like a goat.
Natural.
And the depiction, honestly, sounds like something that was used a long time ago. And, maybe a little fallen angel, the depiction sounds like to you. Maybe a little devil there, little devil on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
No?
The misappropriation of the alchemical depiction of balance, which is Baphomet.
Yep.
Right? Classic Baphomet. Fingers up, 2 fingers, like making the symbol. Y'all can't see this on camera because we're not even recording it, but like that symbol, the hands down, the half male, half female, the half goat, the da-da-da-da-da, which is a total bastardization, but Christians saw that and they're like, I don't understand that, it's the devil.
Just like Carrot Top.
Really, nobody can put that into drawings.
No,
Carrot Top is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Not Goatman. I feel like they would match well on OK Cryptid.
Oh my God, those hoofs! Is it okay if I send you a carrot pic? Oh my God, I just pictured a wedding of Goatman and Carrot.
Oh my God.
And it's fucking beautiful. It's on a beach. It's in Playa del Carmen. It's so fucking gorgeous. They only have lamb on the menu. It's controversial, but like, oh my God.
That's a little rough. That's a little rough. Lamb and carrots. Well,
just say You may now nibble the bride. Okay, sorry.
Well, they both like carrots. Well, the reason this story and Cryptid kind of got its legs, so to speak, was because in November of 1971, a few 16-year-old Bowie residents, April Edwards, John Hayden, and William Gein, not related to Ed Gein, heard strange noises in their backyard where what came to be Goatman's woods, right? Yep, yeah, you hear it right now. Hayden remembered seeing an animal about 6 feet and hair like an animal, which was what they described, but it was on 2 feet. These kids are also not very good at describing something.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why. Well, we'll find out in a minute. Well, it made a high-pitched sound like a squeal. Just like that. But sadly, the next day, they just kind of like threw it off to the side. We're like, fine, no, it's no big deal. It happens all the time. And what's going to become...
It's Ohio. It's what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably high as shit right now.
Super high.
Super
They were
high.
hanging out with Grassman.
No, they were in the backyard with Grassman fiddling through some trash. Sadly, the next morning, Edwards found their 10-month-old puppy, Ginger, missing.
Damn.
And as they like walked around looking for it, only about 100 feet away, they found the animal's severed head.
Damn.
Yeah. And several yards away from that, it's in that cinema-style movie, look-arounds when you pan, they panned and saw the body of the animal. And this was actually right next to a set of train tracks, right?
Okay. Completely unrelated.
Completely unrelated. Until about a few decades later, people kept asking these kids, right? They're like, how did you see, did you see the Goatman? People were following up with them. News agencies kept calling them, asking them. They're about 20, 30 years older. They're like, we don't really want to deal with this.
So these kids, basically, just a real quick here, these kids, found, they heard these sounds, heard these noises. Their dog, Ginger, right, went missing. No matter what Gilligan, the skipper, Marianne could do, the professor, no matter what they could fucking do, they could not find Ginger. And then all of a sudden, the next day, it was just like head over here, body over here. And they came out to the community and they said, hey, I know we live next to train tracks, right? There's nothing to do with it.
Found next to train tracks.
What actually happened? Massive goat man. A massive goat man. You know what? You ever see a picture of the devil? Look just like that.
They let this go on for so I do want to say that it was to them at the moment, going to put their dog on the train tracks and say we're training him was so funny. That's really funny. That's pretty funny. They're like, we're training him. And then I think they didn't laugh when they found the dog the next day. I think that was more of a somber sad, horrifying moment, and they were crying, and you just hear in the background.
Yeah, the jokes about we're running a train on him were not that funny anymore.
Oh, that was not funny. That was the next day's joke.
Yeah, it was
but,
not funny.
No,
Yeah.
that was awful.
Seriously, it was a terrible joke.
And then decades later, they obviously were just like, no, it's actually a hoax. We made it up. The dog got hit by a train and was severed. Head was severed, and we didn't.
Yeah,
Our grief was too much.
sure.
Yeah. I really wanted to mention this because I love the idea of research to this day being done into cryptids, or tids, as we call them now, and folklore or lore, as to either prove or deny the existence of these creatures. And it's super fun to think that people are still doing this, right? And that, we're doing this. Like, me and Gil love to go into this thing and let our minds wander.
Yes.
And that's what makes paranormal, UFOs, cryptids, true crimes, all these things that make it so much fun, is because all the possibilities. Could there be a grass man out there? I think there's definitely Bigfoot out there, most likely. Just, evolved different forms of animals. It's what happens. And we get to geek out and research into these things, which is something me and Gil love. We would not take time out of our week to research these things if we didn't love it. Plus, we just like to honestly hang out and talk about random things on video because we always can't get together and go meet each other.
Yeah. 1.5 miles from each other is too far.
Yeah, it's very much far. We do have a weekly podcast meeting, which is always fun. But all I'm trying to say is that we love you guys, and we thank you for being part of the Black Cat Report. We want to throw some shout-outs out there to the people that have made our life great and have made this podcast happen.
Yes, please. Victor Cassiano, thank you. Thank you for being so awesome. You know what you've done. You've been on the show. We've always shouted out our love to you. But yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you for existing.
Yeah, you're the best. And thank you, some of my favorite people out there. Whitney, Genevieve, you guys help make this happen. You guys have listened to episodes. We really appreciate you guys. You guys send stuff in, send ideas as well.
Thank you.
I love getting ideas from topics from people that I work with and that I hang out with a lot. So thank you guys for doing everything and being amazing.
Thank you, Whitney. Thank you, Genevieve.
And we will see you guys here next week.
Thank you for joining us next week. Bye.
Bye. Oh, no. No, thank you. Oh, no.